on? It's the Block Bull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now, as always, we'll take a look at the charts, but first and foremost, going to look at see what's going on in the world at the moment. So, alert: this account is reporting U.S. civil defense news is reporting that radiation levels in New York City are spiking. This is related to the drone. So, unless you've been living under a rock, there have been, I think there's 50. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. There's been approximately 50 sort of drones that are basically low level, basically circulating the sort of radius of that sort of East Coast, especially around New York and New Jersey, just to see if they are detecting any sort of explicit sort of radioactive material. There was a video that's gone viral over on TikTok. So there is a guy that supplies these US drones, and he does have US contracts with the government. Whether it not be the military, I'm uncertain, but I think it did like 15, 16 million views, probably done more by now. But he says the only reason why they would deploy drones at night would be because it's probably looking for like a gas leak. So they do have sensors, obviously, like carbon monoxide, like your fire alarm in every sort of household over here in the UK, which is mandatory. So yeah, there's a good chance that they are actually sniffing out for radioactive material, because he's suggesting that there is nuclear warheads that went missing in the 1980s. There's about 80 of them, is what he was saying. So yeah, this is all from from him. He's obviously high up. He was the CEO of the company, of this drone company that supplies that sort of equipment to the US government. Okay, but yesterday I did dip my toe over into Gala. I did deploy 50% of my bag, and the reason being is I do like at times to get a feel for the market. Okay, I quickly realized that this is not the time to be investing, so I pulled the plug literally within 10-15 minutes, if that. I probably made about 1%, so that is decent if I'm deploying 50% of my capital. So I'm more than happy. Equates to like a month's wage basically with the sort of money I'm deploying. So yeah, quickly got in and out. I saw this as well. Initially, obviously I read this at face value, so this guy's fairly reliable, but like any other account over on X, usually exaggerate and dramatize everything to get clicks, etc., for clickbait. So it did post IDF nukes Syria. Colossal explosion so big it registered on the Richter scale, hit Syria coast as airstrikes target weapon depots. This was fact-checked as well. This is Daily Mail. I don't know how accurate Daily Mail is, because they all get their news information from, big mainstream sort of corporations like Reuters. Same as any sort of media outlet. They always get the news from the big guns like Reuters. Okay, so whether or not that factual check is correct, who's to know? But obviously nuclear, if it was nuclear, there'd be probably a lot more sort of casualties, should we say. So yeah, that's sort of the negative news to start off with. So in more sort of positive news, we did have the AMA this morning with the co-founder of Beam Lightnet into Velo as well, because if you guys, again, living under a rock with Velo, you guys that are subscribed to the channel will know all about Velo. So this is the co-founder here.
Find my role first. I'm basically one of the co-founder and also the backer of Velo, but I do operate under a different hat within our group ecosystem. What our group are building is actually not just tech. We're building the tech. We're building the actual supply chain. We're building basically the actual ecosystem. And when we talk about partnership, it's good to highlight that we have.
There you go. They're building the actual ecosystem for the supply chain. Okay, so this is massive news for Velo, as you said. As he said then, the co-founder, he said, they're not just building the tech, they're actually building the full ecosystem. So Velo have got some big things to come. Obviously, they're built on that ISO token, Stellar Lumens, ticker symbol XLM. If you've not got XLM, maybe purchase some. Never financial advice. But my way of exposure to XLM would be to be either holding Stronghold, which has got some fantastic fundamentals, and that will obviously run up and do incredibly well in terms of price action. But we've also got Velo as well, which I do believe could do some significant numbers over here on the chart. So just to give you guys some sort of perspectives, I'm just going to scroll out here, and this is on the weekly. So this is what I was depicting. And I also posted on Twitter as well, now X, that I do not pay attention too much for these weekly closes. So again, this is weekly. We're going from this sort of price action here, where we sort of topped out here during this move when we bounced off the bottom of this of the chart. We're trading at around 0.001 cent. So that's incredibly low and very good value if you was accumulating and you did buy the bottom. So yeah, we're starting here with a blue line across. Again, we're going through the weekly closes as opposed to these wicks through here. And then on Sunday, yesterday, we did get a positive close. So this green candle here, we did close above this trend line. So historically, that has been bullish, but like I said, I did post a tweet yesterday. I don't really pay much attention now to the closes. I've been caught so many times. I wait on a Sunday night. I get the close, it's positive, it's broken structure, and I'm thinking, right, we're going to rally. I've been caught so many times with Gala doing it. It just, for whatever reason, the closes just do not work in crypto. Or if you're trading indices or Forex, the win rate is much more, it's much greater than it is over in crypto. Usually for me, 9 times out of 10, it wrong foots the market. We get a positive close here where we get a break structure, and then it comes back inside the structure to sort of retest sort of previous price action. I don't know what it is, but it's something that I picked up anyway, me personally, just by, monitoring the charts from a daily basis. Okay, so that's Velo. But if we was to drop down, again, we got this sort of support line here, this blue trend line. From current price action, we're looking at approximately 50% dip. Okay, I do expect the market to correct at some point sooner or later, guys. We have looked at Bitcoin in previous videos. We have said historically, Bitcoin has sort of began it's moved to the downside, that 30 to 35% correction, which it tends to do to actually liquidate any sort of leverage trades, if you will. So 35% is enough to liquidate those positions if you are trying to leverage. Okay, and that would probably take us back down here. So let's just get a measurement tool out here. So Bitcoin from current sort of price action to do 35%, that would take us down there on that sort of trend line, yeah. And we'll be testing around, I would say, possibly 70k. 70k would be the sort of, rough figure that Bitcoin will correct. And that usually occurs on the 19th. So after the Bitcoin halving in each cycle, even if we go back to sort of 2020 and the 2016 cycle after US elections, we do correct 244 days after the Bitcoin halving where we get that correction. So it looks as if the markets are all synchronized at the moment. Okay, so I'm expecting the crash for Bitcoin to begin to occur on the 19th. I'm not saying we're going to crash directly within a day or two straight down to 70k. It might play out over a week or two. Okay, but that's going to affect the rest of the market as well, because if we go over to, we've done Velo already, we've got Gala up here, we're going to visit XRP shortly, so just stay with us in this video. So this is Gala. It doesn't look good. Like I said yesterday, I got in and out. I made about 1-2% if that, and I got out. I was looking for like a 10-20% trade, and I'll show you what I was looking to play here. I've been bearish ever since we actually broke out of this sort of ascending channel. So once we do break out of that sort of bullish pattern, it then becomes very, very bearish indeed. So we are looking at like a sort of big correction. And this for me down here is the sort of support, which hopefully, if we do get a correction from the sort of 19th of December, if we are synchronized with the sort of Bitcoin price, then we will be looking at tanking down there. Again, we're probably looking at 45-50% for a lot of alts. If the altcoins have rallied significantly higher, like some altcoins have done only like 3 or 4x, I say only. Some coins have done more like 5-6x in the market. So they're probably going to, tank more like 70 to 80%, if not higher, if they are sort of smaller cap gems that I've got running earlier. Okay, so that is Gala, but this is what I was looking to play out. If I just go back into, I'm going to go into the hourly just to get a sort of reading here. So I think it was around here. I saw us sort of breaking out here, and this is what I was looking to play. So I got in around here, just above 5 cents, and I was running it in, and I probably cashed out around this sort of, it was started peaking out and volatility hit. I was aiming to get up to this sort of price action up to, this is the sort of trade that I was looking at. So I got in here up on the break, and I was looking at running it up 10, possibly sort of 20%, sort of see if we can take some sort of this liquidity out of this sort of region here. Yeah, 20% there to that sort of shelf. So that's the trade that I was looking at. Like I said, I did see that strike by SYRIA, that mushroom cloud, and I just jumped out. I thought, nah, it's happening. And my intuition, and like I say, you get a better read and a better intuition and a gut reading on things when you've got your own capital in at risk. Yeah, I got a read and I thought, nah, this is dodgy territory. I was just like, Block Bull, you need to basically just listen to yourself. Just trust the process, yeah? It's taken a little bit longer than I expected for it to tank, but it's coming. Trust me, guys. The tank is coming, and that's when we're going to load up, guys, because we've got dry powder waiting to go. Okay, so XRP, where are we now with XRP? We're on the 1 hour, so let's just, for context, let's just scroll out of here. We're currently trading here, so let's just go with lines with markers. So we've had that breakout, yeah? We've had the breakout. And then we're creating, depending on how you want to perceive this, we'll go into some sort of smaller time frame. So you've had your sort of impulse there. So some people may be thinking, we've had impulse 1 of 3, yeah? They could be right, they could be wrong. Only time will tell. Okay, so usually within 33 weeks, XRP does bottom out, and usually it's below or equal to the price which it was trading at the time of Bitcoin halving, which was 50 cents, which is why up until this point I've been calling 50 cents. That could be off the cards now. We do not know. Again, it's very, very uncertain times with geopolitics, with what's playing out in the world right now, especially with those drones and that sort of nuclear material, which is nefarious at the moment. Unless they find it, it could go off. Who knows what's going to happen? But ultimately, this could be wave 1 of sort of a 5-wave counting Elliott wave theory. So usually you've got like impulse 1. Again, this is just rough, guys. So I usually get impulse 1. You get a correction to the downside. So that's 2. And then 3 is usually twice as long as this stick here, yeah? So wave 1 here. So wave 3 is usually double the size. So again, just rough sort of estimate. You get a sort of 4 count down here, and then you basically get a blow off top up there, yeah? Again, this is just illustration purposes. I'm not saying we are going to $100. If you want to know my sort of plan and what I'm aiming for, obviously I do have the blockbulls.com link below in the description. So I will basically give you my more sort of accurate sort of description. I've got the time analysis there, so we know exactly when to take profits. So it's all there, guys, in the plan. I've got the XRP and the XDC plan as well. If you was to purchase both of those plans together, you can just click on that logo there, or the iPhone, if you will. Click through and add those both to basket. Click out, that will be emailed to you directly, instantaneously. And double check to your junk and spam folders as well, because sometimes it will land in there, because obviously you've never received an email from the email account which I provide these plans for. Okay, guys, so just double check those. But yeah, there we go. There are the plans. So something like that. Again, guys, do not. It's just illustration purposes, okay? But yeah, I do expect XRP to achieve some massive numbers. And even if we do get a correction to retest the tip of this sort of macro wedge down here again, which is around 50 cents, which is, is coincidental, should we say, with the sort of time and the price of the XRP at the time of the halving. So yeah, guys, again, it's all up to you. I'm not making any sort of calls, because if I make the wrong call, people jump on me. Oh, I've lost money, this, that, and the other. Again, the best traders in the world only win 40% of the time. Okay, 95% of traders do lose money in the markets, okay? But so far, so good. I'm in profit. It's happy days. So unless you've been executing some other sort of calls, you're probably just being greedy, and you wanted that $2.90 sort of cash out price at XRP. It's not going to happen. We're not in the business of trying to catch tops. We want to capture the meat of that sort of move. Yeah, we want to capture, I would say, anywhere between 70 to 80% of that move. That to me would be a brilliant trade. I don't know anyone who called $2.90 as the top in this particular move for XRP before we began consolidating. But yeah, that is XRP, and this is what's happening. We've fallen outside of that ascending channel, which is a bullish structure. We've broken the bullish structure, and we're now in accumulation now. So we're currently at the top of this sort of resistance level now. So is XRP going to roll over now and maybe retest this support? So this support now is, I'm looking at around $2.15. Which, for context, from current sort of price action, you're probably looking at about a 9-10% retracement to test whether or not support is going to hold. In my view, the support isn't very strong. So even if we do go down to there to retest again, we got the 19th of December, guys, with Bitcoin. Historically, that's when Bitcoin has crashed and made that correction. So again, 19th of December is one to watch out for. However, if we was to make a move to the upside, potentially we could do a measured move. In fact, let's just have a look. So this for me is not even this for me isn't even an Elliott wave. So I've looked at this before, say like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count. But I got it in the neck there. Again, this third wave should be double wave 1. Okay, so wave 3 should be all the way up here, and then you could argue we're going to make a correction here during wave 4, and then we could then create wave 5. So something along those sort of, somewhere along those sort of lines, that could potentially play out. But for me, at the moment, I am favouring a correction. So I've still got the dry powder. And if I was to let you guys know and get back into the market, I will post it over on X. So if you're not already following, make sure to follow me over on X at the Block Bull. I'll keep you up to date with all the trades when I'm in and out of the market. But yeah, ultimately, I'm waiting for that correction with Bitcoin from the 19th. Probably ride it out for a couple of weeks. I did say initially I'll be looking at getting in the markets today, actually on the 16th of December. The correction hasn't come yet, so it doesn't make any sense for me to get back into the market before a correction. Yeah, I'm going to wait for the price to come to me, and it's as simple as that, guys. But yeah, if you got any comments, any questions, or you've got any difference in opinion, let me know down below. I'll see what I can do in the next video. Until next time, I've been the Block Bull. So Block Bull over and out.